Okay. It says we're live. I'm not seeing it on... Oh, wait, I have to press play here, maybe?
It is. Here we are.
Is it going? Are we live?
The two boomers combine.
Yeah. There it is. I can see it. See, can I hear it? I can hear it through the phone. All right, good.
Excellent.
Cool.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. Great.
You're
stuff.
live, lol.
Great
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
We're figuring it out.
That's right. As we go along. That's right.
I've got my Twitch stream for like my music stuff. That's like down pat, but that's on the other computer, and so I hadn't streamed to this channel yet, and just wanted to make sure that everything was working properly. So
that's right. One step at a time, brave new world for this and for all things. That's right.
Exactly. Well, we're glad to be here. Glad to see a couple of you guys here in the chat already.
Yeah, definitely.
We don't really have too much of a topic to talk about or anything like that. This is a lot less structured than the podcast. We're basically just here to hang out, talk shop a little bit, and talk about maybe kind of the response that we've gotten to the podcast so far. Limited though it may be, it's been great.
But as in all things, quality
yes
over quantity.
Right.
Definitely
We're not Wizards of the Coast.
Yes, that is for sure. But great feedback so far from Reactionary Principle.
Yeah, by the way, fucking awesome
thank you
channel.
for cluing me on. I had not heard of his channel, but fantastic stuff that guy's putting out.
Let me find that channel, and I'll post the link in the live chat.
Yes.
So I found this. So the YouTube algorithm, people will complain, like these small creators will complain, oh, the algorithm doesn't like you unless you already have a following, blah, blah, blah. It's all bullshit. The algorithm is literally amazing. I hadn't used this channel in years, and, I'm politically a little unconventional compared to most people. So it just served me up this channel out of nowhere that I'd never heard of called Reactionary Gaming Principle. It was just this like jacked dude giving advice on role-playing games in front of his squat rack. I was like
perfect.
I was like, holy shit, the algorithm really knows me. And of course, his channel is awesome. He's
fantastic.
Really talks about some interesting stuff. He's very funny. And all of his videos are great. So let me see if I can find that and put it in the chat for you. Reactionary Principle Gaming. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Yeah. But I found his channel, started commenting on his stuff, and then he popped over and checked out our podcast, made a response video to the first episode. Really, really interesting stuff. Definitely check him out.
Very
and
much
subscribe.
appreciated.
Yeah. So links in the chat now. We also, we gained a bunch of subscribers, which was awesome. I don't know if you guys check out our shorts, but every once in a while, inspiration strikes, and we make something hilarious. So those have been fun to make, and really fun to see the reactions to. I got into it with some Zoomers over on TikTok because I posted them there too, and people freaked out on one of them, simply because I didn't laugh. Yeah, I didn't laugh at a shitty D&D show. That is called Legends of Evantris or something. I don't fucking know. But it was like, it's the slop that we talk about.
It is the slop.
the worst. The worst gaming. Go ahead.
No, it served at the purpose or the perfect setup.
Oh my god,
for
I'm terrible.
A fantastic punchline. Garmambosia the Clown, perfect name.
Yeah, exactly.
It is what it is.
But yeah, I put hashtag critical role in the tags in it, and all these people with anime profile pictures showed up in the comments.
Not critical role.
It's not critical role. It's not critical role. And
Roll, you got it wrong.
you got it wrong.
Wrong.
Yeah, and of course, I didn't admit that I was wrong. I just said it says critical role, and they're like, "But it's not critical role. It's not critical role. You gotta stop saying it's critical role." Like
Foaming at the mouth.
yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Hilarious.
some guy got so mad because I was just responding when they'd be like, "You need to stop gatekeeping D&D." I just respond, "No." Over and over again, and some guy got so mad. He went and watched the rest of the videos and commented on them. I was like, thanks, dipshit.
Perfect.
Like, you just gave me more engagement. Like, it was awesome.
Oh my God. Yeah, man. Yeah, but that was that's great.
Big Bad RPG. Thank you for saying that our shorts are great.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah. Yeah. More to come. There is certainly a lot that needs to be called out. And a lot that we have to say,
and just a lot of stuff to make fun of because it's fun, and people get so mad. I love it. This is the weird thing too, is that like Zoomers are apparently really like tech illiterate, from what I understand, because they grew up in the era of the iPhone and the iPad and
everything
all this
having
shit
already been
it's like
catered,
UI made for stupid people.
Platter.
Yeah, and so. I guess they're also internet illiterate because you don't feed the trolls, and that's all they've been doing.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, with TikTok, it really.
Yeah, if you think that
floodgates are really open.
Right. If you think globally. That YouTube commenters are stupid, like, oh my God, TikTok is another level. It's pretty incredible. So that's been a lot of fun. I got a whole lot more ideas for those things, but those are generally just like kind of one-off, I think of a funny idea and then go make it immediately. The only one that took like a shitload of work was the David Lynch one. That one took so much time to do, but I was determined.
Worth it.
It was worth it.
Worth it, for sure. Yeah. I gotta up my own tech boomer levels. To get in on the fun.
Yeah,
there's plenty of fun to be had.
Oh yeah,
but yeah. So reactionary gaming principle and
reactionary
Shauna,
principle gaming.
Yeah. Sorry, man. Your channel is great. I'm not the best with names. Fantastic stuff though. But I saw also that the channel Sean Driscoll.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic channel. I've been watching his stuff like the past 8, 9, 10, however long his channel has been up. He mentioned he tanked his old channel, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But I remember that stuff. Great guy, really great opinions on having a firm stance on gaming and on roleplay, more specifically, and his commentary is fantastic.
Yeah.
Calls it like it is. He's right. Everything sucks. Everything sucks out there.
It was really great. Before we continue on, Shauna, I just want to respond to Big Bad RPG again. He says, you guys going to do a Discord, or are you going to check your Twitter DMs? Yeah, we are going to check the Twitter DMs. We're also going to start being active on Twitter soon, but we've got a whole bunch of like administrative work that we're doing right now, like, getting the podcast set up on Spotify and all these other platforms.
The admin stuff
we have our domain name secured. We need to get our website made and stuff. So we're a little slow on that at the moment. But once we get these kind of like base steps, we'll be able to actually do things with them. And I love Twitter, so I'll be on that all the time. Yeah. Like constantly. But we'll probably have like a Facebook group, for the, the World War II veterans that use that platform. I don't know.
The Facebook page is up, but nothing is I think visible on it. I need to figure out why that's not working right. Putting the shorts up there. So bear with us. But soon to come.
I'm not sure that we're gonna do a Discord, simply because my opinion of that is like it's like being on Slack voluntarily. Like
Yeah.
I'm not sure I want to
Getting
do that.
in the pen.
But then we've also got I don't know. We might do like a locals or something at some point.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah.
we'll
We definitely want to find, bring together all the people who have similar, not only opinions but a value in gaming, in how gaming culture is not ideal to say the least. So like-minded individuals, and the people who find the content engaging, interesting, amusing. So we will have places. Not sure exactly where that will be, but yes.
Yeah, we're pretty active in the comments on our videos. So for now, that's probably the best way to interact with us, other than these live streams. Yep. He says, yeah, that's fine. I'm digging the vibe. Alliances shall be formed. Tabletop RPG landscape will be different a year from now.
Hell yeah, man.
Hopefully.
I hope so.
Yeah, hopefully.
I hope so. That's what this is.
Right. There will be
pushback.
Yeah, exactly. There will be at least our voices pushing back against the cringe and the slop and the corporate
Cringe,
gruel.
the slop tide.
Yeah. The slop tide. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so getting back to what we were talking about, Sean Driscoll, he found our channel, and he made a video response to our first podcast that was in 2 parts, and he basically did like a commentary track over our episode. And so the first part of the video gets through the first 17 minutes of our video, and his video is 78 minutes long.
Yeah.
And it's really good.
Great.
And then
it's really good.
Yeah.
You should check out his channel.
You should check out his channel, definitely. He's like really soft spoken, so it's like it's almost like ASMR at times, but he's very insightful, very funny, and very clearly on the same page as us with kind of our philosophy. The second part of the video, where he finished out the rest of our episode, is like 2 hours and 38 minutes long, because he's pausing it and talking
Shauner,
the whole
what's
time.
going on?
Shauner's here. Nice.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we're talking about you, man.
Love your stuff, man.
Yeah, we both
been
watched
watching your stuff
your responses, all the way through.
Yeah, I've been watching your channel for a decade, or however long it's been up. Great stuff, and great book, by the way. I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yeah, I downloaded it. I have I read the first couple pages and then fell asleep because I've been up thinking about this stuff until like 3 a.m. every day. Pretty much.
Yeah. It's tough work getting it off the ground.
Yeah. But it was actually
well worth it.
Yeah, it was super worth it, and honestly, and of course, I don't mean this literally. So if anyone's a veteran, don't like freak out on me. Don't freak out on me when I say this. But it was like watching Sean or watching that video. It was like meeting someone in a bar and then finding out that like you both fought in the same war. Like this like shared kind of
shared
experience
shared
of philosophy.
Trauma.
Yeah.
Shared real to use an overabused term.
Yeah, we are from the same golden age of RPGing. Yeah, it was a brief, fleeting moment. The thing is, most of my the games that I played in like high school and college, that's kind of how we played. It wasn't as kind of immersive as things got with like the Vampire the Masquerade experiment, or even like especially not with our Ring of Fire games. But it was like it was very much
like Google Hangouts games. Where it seemed like everybody was trying to orbit around or reach some kind of the same thing. Do more. With gaming.
Yeah, exactly. And that was also kind of how I gamed from the beginning. Like I was playing Vampire the Masquerade and Requiem and World of Darkness and all of that stuff in high school. And it was I saw the other people who played D&D, and was just kind of like, I'm not really interested in that.
It was awful.
It was really bad. And then I was like, there's got to be like people who play D&D that play it like I play Vampire, and it turned out that was not the case.
Yeah.
And it's just been bad the whole time.
Yeah. It was I was very fortunate. I started gaming late. I must have been 26 when I started. So I guess a little bit over. Well, no, it would have
A late bloomer, if you will.
I'm 36. So about 10 years. Maybe I was like 24, 12. Either way, I started gaming in Pathfinder 1, obviously, given the time frame. And very quickly, I had those moments like you were talking about, Matt, in our first episode of the podcast, where this is really engaging. This is really cool. It was a published adventure. The GM was very good. I'm still friends with him to this day. Great GM. In the Dragonlance Age of Mortals game, I was playing a wizard. Had a lot of fun in our way of getting into that character, getting into the very particular style, I guess, the particular context of that world, the test, all that stuff. But everything I was putting forward, I could see, was not echoed at all, except for one other player at the table who I'm also still friends with. But it was a struggle. It was an exhausting struggle to not only maintain that roleplay for myself, but to just block out the slop that was going on from everybody else around the table, chomping on nachos or Doritos or what have you, and guzzling down soda, and it's just not a good atmosphere. But it was about that time where, like you were saying, Matt, someone else has to be viewing this activity how I am, and it was right in the very, very early days of what would be the RPG brigade, or whatever you want to call it, where you had those people just starting to make content on YouTube.
Yeah.
And it was really great to see that.
There was people that had like interesting ideas and conversations, and it seemed like everyone wanted more out of their game, and there was like varying degrees of people wanting, quote unquote immersion and whatnot, but everyone seemed to be really interested in, like, their games are about stories and
yeah, Gentleman Gamer, Shauner, great.
Oh yeah, got you into
his guide to the clans,
Call of Cthulhu.
Call of Cthulhu, a game I love, but have still not had the opportunity to really delve into. I was actually just listening to he still has a YouTube channel, Runeslinger.
Oh, Runeslinger's great.
One of the best channels out there.
We need to subscribe to him on our YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, we do.
I'll do that right now.
Listening to his podcast, he was talking about some stuff about Call of Cthulhu. Got me thinking about a cyberpunk version of that one day in the future. But him, Gentleman Gamer, Andrew Wood, Hammered. I really do hope that a lot of those voices, those people, or even people like us who were not, well, at least like me, I wasn't making content at all in that time. I wasn't. I made some live plays, but I think I tanked those videos. I went to look for them. I couldn't find them anymore, so I think they're gone. Come back to add their voice to the mix, and maybe try and balance the scales a little bit. But
yeah, I hope those guys come back. And I haven't watched a Runeslinger video in a very long time, but I do remember really liking his channel. I think he ran a Wraith game,
I feel like his YouTube channel has kind of. Yes, it was a. I don't know if it was a one shot or maybe a 2-3 shot.
It was in it was like a Korean.
It was in the Korean War.
Yeah. Which I was like, it's like such a. I want to play Wraith so bad. like so bad.
Well, we will.
We will. Yeah,
We will.
Eventually, we'll get there.
We'll get there. We'll get there. But, yeah. Why don't we, ask and ye shall receive. Why don't we talk a little bit about, since we have the man here who asked the question, asked for the topic description. It's an interesting question, a big question, and it's funny to me that I have a lot to say on it, but when you mentioned that genre, I realized I didn't have, I don't know, an order of operations of thoughts about it, and yet description is so important to me in what I am, I guess, primarily interested in, or at least what I have an affinity to when I'm, well, on both sides of the table, as a player, as a GM as well. I think for me, my ideal, I haven't had a firm stance on like who, or haven't thought about it, who narrates failures, who narrates successes. I think my instinctual go-to is, I think I narrate, if I'm GMing, I'm narrating failures.
Yeah.
And the players are narrating their successes. However, there's a couple people I've gamed with who are completely on the same page as I am in terms of style, preference, etc. And what's great for me is when I have one of those people at the table and I can trust them, take it and run, and they can describe whatever happens. They're not going to try and avoid a failure. They're going to lean into it, or they're going to add drama. They're going to stay in character. They're going to keep with the action. They're going to keep with the moment, and just feed me back gold to continue the scene with, and to keep the wheels spinning. Yeah, that's great when you have someone at the table who you can just say go.
Yeah, and that's why you got to choose, again, like we said, choose your players wisely.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly the kind of player you want, in my opinion. Someone who is just going to roll with it and isn't going to fucking argue about, getting a bad roll, and understands that, bad rolls actually, this is the whole point. If we only wanted good rolls, we wouldn't use dice. We'd literally just be doing an improvised story. But it's the dice add a lot to the uncertainty and the drama, and you should always be playing yes and, it's whatever happens, you take that and you roll with it, because that makes the game better and more interesting. And I don't want to ever play with players who don't feel that way.
Yeah, definitely vet your players. I've never used, I know you talk a lot about it in your videos, and you have it as a sort of like a rule one, or among the first, the primary rule is the social contract. It's definitely not only a good idea, but I think you're completely right. It needs to happen if you don't know the people.
Yeah.
And not because of any lame YouTube-friendly words. Yes, safety, safe space, horse shit. But are you on board with what we're doing, or are you not? Ideally, I want to get people who I don't need to do that with anymore, which you can't always do, and certainly not online, especially if you have like a Rolodex. Or you're just getting randos, which I have done far too often, and I don't ever want to do again if I can help it.
Yeah.
It's crawling through like Roll20, LFG forums is like.
Yeah, I mean, I've done like I have gone years and years at a time without playing because I will not play in a bad game. I simply won't do it. It's not because it makes me hate it, and I know that it's not the game.
Yeah.
That there's something, or like the act of role playing that's the problem. It's that you're in a shit game, and it's better
shit game often with shit people.
Yeah, it's better to find good people. And I mean, hopefully people will find each other through this channel. That'd be great. I mean, if people end up
that would be great
meeting through our content and getting some good games going, that'd be awesome. You mentioned the idea of the safe space and whatnot. I had someone from a Discord that I'm in. I think Hope for the Best here. I think that's true. But he has his own Discord for his role-playing game and role-playing game company that I'm in. And one of our buddies over there messaged me and asked me if I wanted to be in a game. And I told him I'd love to, but I don't have the time, whatever. But he told me this story. He's like, dude, I'm trying to get into these games. He's like, these games are so bad. There are people running Vampire.
Yeah.
And their rules include like no murder, no and I was like, wait,
what are we talking about?
Yeah, murder in Vampire.
Yeah.
I was like, the whole reason your character exists is because of murder.
You're assaulting people every single day for eternity if you play your cards right.
Yeah, you're a bloodthirsty monster that literally needs to harm people in order to live. I was like, this is wild.
We're definitely going to do an episode on RPG horror stories. Bring it back.
Yep.
From Ander, I think he may have been the first one.
But
making those videos.
Our twist on that, it's not RPG horror stories, it's RPG gaming Garmonbosia.
Gaming Garmonbosia.
Yeah.
Those
gaming Garmonbosia are pain and suffering.
Pain and suffering. Pain and suffering.
I gotta move you.
I
gotta move you down a pixel. There we go.
Got it.
Yeah, we had that stupid little gilded yellow line showing up when you were talking. There we go.
Oh yeah, they will try the gaming horde, the mongoloids, and the trash will try to engulf us, but these people have evil takes. Not only because of gaming. Oh, it's just a game. It's just a game. This mindset, this worldview is the reason everything fucking blows.
Yeah.
Right now. Everything in the world is terrible. And I think...
Justin Thor LP's, he said, it's been far too long for me playing because of politically minded safe space, quote, people. Agreed.
Quote people is right.
Yeah, quote people is correct. I'm sorry to hear that, man. But again, you're making the right choice. Don't think that engage. You should play with these people. You should not.
Yeah. You'll be wasting your time. You'll be frustrated. You'll be pissed off about it. And worse, the worst outcome is it sours your experience of the hobby. And even worse than that, it'll just sour, like you won't be able to get anything done in your personal life because you'll just be so wound up and pissed off. Black-pilled about things, and I understand why.
Mm-hmm.
But these people want you to be demoralized and to comply.
Mm-hmm.
And no. No is the simple and correct answer.
We've got Shauner asks, I have a question. What level of detail / crunch do you want in your RPG core rule?
I want you answer first. I got to think about it.
I want just enough where the dice provide something interesting, and I do like certain kind of little bits of flair added to it. Like critical successes and horrible failures,
Sure.
Rolling the highest and lowest on whatever the range is. I do love that because it adds a lot of flair and drama to things. I also do like systems that give you bonuses for better description, better roleplay. That was Like Exalted by White Wolf has a system called stunting, which is basically you can get a 1, 2, or 3 die bonus because it's all D10. Same system as all the World of Darkness, based on your level of description. So if you give like, a very basic description of what you do, you can get 1 additional die. If you give a very engaging and cool description of what you do, it's 2 dice. And if you do something that is absurdly epic, because this is a game of epic fantasy and kind of like it's like martial arts movies and anime mixed with like Rome and all sorts of other crazy shit. If you do something truly absurd, you get a 3 die bonus, and so it makes you have a better chance to succeed. But it's only if you actually get into it, and I like that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
but but the thing is, I just want it to go fast. I want it to go fast. I'm not like, I don't want multiple. Yeah, exactly. Gotta go fast. I don't want multiple checks of the rules of whatever we're doing. Like, I want someone to be able to look at their sheet, see what their modifier is, roll the dice. We immediately determine success or failure, and we move on.
Yeah, for me, I prefer a skill-based system. I really don't.
Same.
I can do and have done a class-based systems, and this is actually something I would be curious. I know you've mentioned it from time to time, but so I've found, and I think Runeslinger is a big reason for this. I have really found myself enjoying Mithras, which is sort of an iteration on BRP. It is a percentile-based system, so you do roll under. What I'm looking for, I want the world to be, and the situations therein to be presented to me in the mechanics as clearly as possible without getting down in the weeds. I don't really like bennies or, tokens you throw in. It takes you out of the moment. It's like, it's not a mechanical thing that you may be getting enjoyment from, but it's the player who's getting enjoyment, spending in the poker chips or the fate bennies or whatever it is. I don't really like those. I want the world to be presented to me as it is, and the mechanics that prevent me from having to do any rolls, or not any rolls, but get bogged down in mechanics as the GM. Like, I have to calculate.
Yeah, I don't want to have to remember an entire fucking rule system.
Creature in D&D or in Pathfinder. I don't want to be doing that. I want to focus on being engaged with the players, being engaged with the scene, and have my mind free to pay attention to this person said something, this character did something. I can clue off of that. I can do something. Let me introduce
you
this.
You want to basically be in a flow state. You want to like not have things that are interrupting that train that has no brakes. Yeah, basically. Because
so I really don't like meta currencies, and they become.
What are meta currencies?
Not surprisingly, given the. So meta currencies are like your bennies, or
your what?
Like Modifius's like 2d20 system. I think they all kind of do this.
2d20. All right.
You have. So like, I know, like in the Star Trek game and the Dune game and the Dishonored game, all of these franchise games that Modifius, they're the ones who come to mind first, since I think they've kind of made a name for themselves. They're very popular right now. You have this pool of currency, basically, which either you as the player character or the group or the group can spend to take narrative control of something, or re-roll a failure, or mitigate something. It's sort of it's a meta thing that you have a certain number, and you can do this, and you get a point, and you can spend that point on something. I totally get why modern players right now like it, because that is absolutely, it's very gamey, very video gamey. So it's not a surprise to me that that's very popular, but that takes you it takes you out of the moment.
Yeah, I agree, but it's also different than just D&D.
Yeah.
And I think that's appealing to people.
Yeah, Doom momentum. Yeah, Doom
Yeah.
and momentum. Yeah, there's like Doom and Conan, momentum. Maybe momentum's in all of them. I don't know.
And S
a long
Cherry,
time
I'm
since
sorry that it's destroyed, that the safe spaces and whatnot have destroyed gaming for you, and that you dropped out 4 years ago. That's a
damn.
really sad thing, and I hope that you can get back into it
Yeah, it's like
in an
it's like
unsafe
a,
space.
it's like an AA meeting,
I know,
right? It's like
it's just like group therapy for people.
exactly. I've never felt so seen.
Yeah.
Dude, that guy crying. There's a video of some guy crying at
Oh my God.
the new
I can't.
One
We're
Ring,
not
the
going to show
Black
it to you right
Aragorn.
now because,
Yeah.
but
We can't get too caught in the weeds about that, but
yeah, but there we saw this video of this guy. I think we're talking about the same one, the Critical Role thing.
I was talking about the Black Aragorn, but it's a good enough
Oh
segue to
God,
what
that's an
we were
even better
talking
one.
about.
That's a better one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's this video. This guy's come up on TikTok for me a couple of times. Who's just some social justice lunatic, and he sees like somebody drew a picture, or it's like part of some new product where they made Aragorn.
I think it's game art from the new edition of One Ring source, but I think that's what it is.
Yeah, but anyway, they made Aragorn black, and this black nerd is literally like weeping tears. Eric July roasted him on his channel. It was awesome. But he's like, I've never seen myself in Lord of the Rings. And it was crazy because I was looking at him and I was like, that dude in the picture, though, is like this giant, jacked, masculine man. And you're crying about a drawing. I was like, I don't know how you're seeing yourself in that. Like,
Yeah. But yeah, we were talking the other day about another video, which is maybe what you were initially discussing, and maybe we'll discuss it more on an episode of the podcast or a different video. But this guy was doing not a recap. What was he? He was telling the story of one of the, I guess, main characters from this season or whatever it is of Critical Role.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so it made me angry, not only because it's very woke and et cetera, but I don't know, like if someone delved deep and sort of like putting words in my mouth about character that I played, it's just something gross about it.
Yeah, so for context,
we were talking about it go ahead.
Yeah, for context, this video is this guy recapping a portion of an episode of Critical Role where he basically intimates that this character, his whole arc is about overcoming his own toxic masculinity and accepting himself for who he really is and his weaknesses and all of this stuff. And it was like very clear, like maybe some of that stuff's in Critical Role. I don't know. I don't really watch Critical Role, but it seemed clear to me that this was just him reinterpreting this scene in place of his own insecurities and his own life. And it really, really being like the whole idea of him like putting down his masculinity and moving on from it was extremely irritating because they took a scene that actually did look like it was this guy was actually exercising some sort of strength where he's like rejecting his patron god or whatever, some sort of deity.
Like a warlock or something.
Yeah, he's like standing up to a literal deity of some kind, and for me I'm like that does sound like kind of awesome and masculine, but for him it's like he's putting that away, and to me it was
it's an excuse to like eschew your own strength.
Yeah,
it's so gross. It's so gross.
It was like to celebrate your own weakness and to accept it, as opposed to try to overcome it. Yeah, which is evil. I have
Yeah, exactly, Sean.
literally.
Yes.
What do you say? We got
Probably can't say it. Or maybe you can. I don't know. Susan. I don't know
oh yeah.
how egregious Susan is these days, but
Yeah.
you know, um, yeah, it is that. Yeah, games are not therapy. Games, like any other activity, can be therapeutic for you, but that's incidental. It's about what you put into it. You can do it. You can get a job. You could work out. You could go for a walk. You could play a game. All these
Yeah.
things could, make your life better. But the idea that not only that's what games are for, and I think that's increasingly there's a growing perspective that that is the case, and worse that they should. That it's
Yeah.
sort of incumbent upon you as either the GM or a fellow player to. I don't even know how that would work. You're supposed to somehow. It's batshit. So I know it's incomprehensible, but
Yeah, and it's frustrating because it's like it is this total inversion of like
yeah.
actual values and the
Oh shit! Does Susan not work for YouTube anymore? Did she get fired?
is that the YouTube head person? She just quit, I think, right?
Yeah. Oh really?
Yeah, yeah. Or
Nice.
stepped down fairly recently. But yeah, it's very frustrating. I mean, the entire like
Yeah.
war of
Yes,
destruction
Justin.
against the concept of masculinity is extremely frustrating. And this
Yeah.
I don't know. It really pisses me off, and it made me angry too, because like I sent you that video and I hadn't watched it. I scrubbed through a couple parts of it and I was like, oh my God, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Sent it to you, and then you were like, dude, this is really bad. So I went back and watched it. I got angry. And then what made me so angry though was that I had almost 200,000 views on it. And I was like, people
Yeah.
are eating this up. This
Yeah.
like this literal like poison of
Poison. It's
of,
evil.
like-
It's an evil mindset.
Yeah, it is an evil mindset.
Masculinity. It's anti everything that's built anything.
it's
at
anti
all.
strength and
Anti-strength.
power and goodness and
Excellence.
excellence.
Striving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is something I want to talk about at some point. In the not too distant future. It made me think. I don't even know if this is like a lame topic to even be like solipsizing about it, but this question that gets bandied about from time to time are our games art, our tabletop games art.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they are. No, they're not. I don't know. My inclination is to say no.
Yeah.
They're not. Not because they're not good. Art doesn't equal creativity or quality.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, creativity and art, I think, are two different things. You look at a painting, you produce a song, a movie, a TV show, a novel, whatever it is. Yeah, something about that is there either explicitly or implicitly to convey something. I'm not trying to convey anything. I'm trying to embody something. If I'm playing a character, I'm trying to get into a scene, or if I'm the GM, I'm trying to cultivate a place for that to happen. I'm not conveying a struggle. I'm not sending a message. If I'm the GM, of course I'm using obvious, I guess, storytelling tools. I guess I don't have a plot in mind, but things have cogent sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I feel like
at the very least.
I feel like art, at least, and I know there's a lot of artists who will push back against this, but I do think that art, at least, is something that has intention behind it and like structure and some sort of form. And you have structure and form in RPGs, and as a GM, you're putting together this game and you probably have a plot in mind and whatnot, but it's not,
Yes.
it gets away from you because there's other people participating in it and you don't know where it's going to go.
It's an insular activity. It's for the group.
It's for the group. Exactly. It's not,
it's
that's
not
the other
an
thing.
Audience
it's not
activity.
Right. Which is why most games, most online role-playing games, sessions that you see are so bad, even if the people are having a great time playing it, it's not really something that you can spectate unless you're doing it in the format.
Now, most of them are atrocious.
Most of them are bad.
There's,
okay. So let me.
there is the activity. It's something. You're right. It's something about the activity. It's not. It's not conducive to that.
Yeah.
That's not what it's for.
Yeah.
And so when the only Let's Play channels that are mega popular, it's shifted so that it is about projecting something outward.
Right.
And it's certainly not a message. It's just base entertainment.
Yeah, and I would say in the case of Critical Role is that since you have people who are actors and these are professional entertainers, they're good enough at the role play and the acting portion of this that part is not any time they have to spend really thinking about, and it's more like they can enjoy the game and and understand that they're performing for an audience and do those things simultaneously and do it well. Whereas most of the people who are trying to replicate that can't do either of those things. they can't do either of those things one at a time, let alone simultaneously. Do not watch the Transplanter RPG channel. I have seen it on Twitch. It was one of the highest rated streams when I looked in the Dungeons and Dragons category. That's also another game that I think had 9 people playing in it at the same time too. I was like, God.
Yeah. Limit to 5 or less players. I like 3 to 4.
Yeah. Big Man Max over at Reactionary Principle Gaming, though, he actually brought up a good point, which was he likes to have either 3 or 5 because then it makes splitting the party harder. You can basically kind of get a little bit of democracy going. I doubt he would say that, but it does make it harder to have the players.
Well,
really
because there's an odd. It's like
there's an
odd number.
Odd number there. Yeah, it's like you can have at least one more voice going in one direction or the other.
I hadn't thought about it that way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess you're right. I mean, I don't know. It's too unwieldy to me.
What Hope for the Best said. He said, I would argue that it's absolutely art. It's an improvised orchestra of theater, whom the audience is also the performers, maestro and musicians. The goal is to experience the truth. I mean, I can see it from that perspective.
It's an interesting thought. Yeah.
Because that's kind of what you were saying is that it is, it's like when the people who are playing it, it is for you when you are playing it. So, I mean, I guess I could see that. It's just not something that I think lends itself well to being presented to people outside of the group always.
Yeah. And definitely you're right, Shauner.
100%.
You can't have these tiny, the 6, 9, 10 face windows.
Yeah.
You need to have everybody. You need that production value, and you need people in the room if you want to.
If you want to do something at that level,
Critical Role clone.
Right.
Yeah.
If you want to do something at that level, for sure. I think you can still live stream games and do it fairly successfully, but you will not even be in the same orbit as something like Critical Role.
Yeah. At best, maybe you and your friends and maybe a dozen or so other people will
for instance, Legend of Evantris, that with Garmin Bozia the clown.
Is that what that was?
Yeah, that's what that show is.
Garmin Bozia.
Those guys are all at the same table, and they've got a whole lot of subscribers, and they're able to play off each other and have this chemistry, I guess, that people like. I don't get it, I don't see it, but they at least, they're all at the same table, and they're not doing the little boxes, the Zoom call.
Yeah, and yeah, you're right. You're right. When you're engaged in a game, the way it's meant to be, you're not there to entertain anyone. It's certainly not anyone else. That's for sure. And I would argue you're not really there to entertain as such, right?
Yep.
It goes back to like, what's your definition of fun? What's your definition of entertain? You're trying to cultivate space and an experience and this defined activity.
Yeah.
Not,
And
not to provide yucks for people.
yeah. Definitely not to just provide yucks. The yucks will happen. It's kind of, on the flip side of what we've talked about with like, the bad games still stumbling over these good moments. Good games are still going to stumble over hilarity. Like that I think is
Right.
part and parcel of the experience. It's not every time, and you don't sit there and dwell on it, but there is kind of sometimes where it's like the absurdity of what you're doing kind of presents itself, and and funny and things happen. I'm not totally opposed to having a joke told once in a while at the table, but that just, I don't want that to be the bread and butter.
Definitely do not.
It's not the meat.
I'm gonna
and
have
potatoes.
to think about that comment. Hope for the best. I have to think on that. Yeah, but that attitude, Sean, or like why, especially back in the day, in like the Google Plus heyday, the boom. That was kind of my attitude as well. Like I wanted their, what production value we could bring to bear. Having at least a decent enough camera, a quality microphone that it didn't sound like you were underwater, or in a cave. When you talk, that's just as much. That's just as important for the audience as it is for the people around the table.
And that's also another huge reason that I think that all those games that we were running at the time, even though there was a lot of games being run by a lot of different people, some of them were very good, and some of them I actually could watch here or there, but it was excruciating with just the microphones and the cameras. They're so bad. Part of that's just a product of the time. Like I've literally had this microphone for like 15 years. That's because I used to do voiceover. But most people, it's like if you only had a webcam, or you were going to spend like $200 on a fucking microphone or whatever, people couldn't do that. And they weren't thinking about it in those terms. It was literally like, I just want to get online and play the game.
Yeah. And you didn't even need to spend $200, but nobody thought about it at all. Or
No,
many people
it was not being thought
didn't think
of.
about it at all.
This was also really before modern YouTube. Like there were like content creators at the time. There's a lot of good stuff and high quality stuff that was made previously. But, now when you get any YouTube video, most of them have very good production values. Anything that is getting the kinds of, getting any sort of traction or views, like they have some level of production value to them. And that was not the case for like 99% of YouTube back in that day.
Yeah, it was just have a nice a nice background and a quality camera, a quality microphone.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't just have it be your bedroom, your disgusting bedroom behind you, which I've been guilty of.
Yeah, Sean, I
Some
have
of the
to
videos,
try. I have to try Traveler. I've never tried Traveler. I've been aware of it for many, many years. I've never come across anyone who plays it, but I've always been intrigued by it, mainly because of your content. You speak so highly about it. It's always been intriguing. I really have to. I really have to check that box and give it a go. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, you're right.
That's an
with AI,
interesting thought.
Actually, yeah.
It's a really good idea. I wish I hadn't deleted those old videos.
Yeah, I know.
I could have.
Yeah, you could go and clean up the audio. Problem being, though, then I'd have to delete and re-upload all those videos. They might get more views this time, but
Yeah.
actually, that's a really good idea because I can do AI green screen background replacement. Just get rid of all the shit that was in the background of those videos.
Yeah.
Not so much with the live play because I'd be doing it to everybody,
Everybody. Yeah.
and that would be very difficult. But some of the old reviews that I did, I could definitely do that too. Yeah, this is a good idea.
Yeah.
Or I could just remake those videos from scratch now. But
Yeah.
that seems a little disingenuous.
Steve Fillmore, what's going on?
I'm not above it though. What's up, Steve Fillmore? How's it going? Tell us where you're at.
Welcome.
How long you been following the channel? You a new subscriber, or are you from the ancient days and don't remember who this channel is? Yeah, the before times.
Yeah, yeah, before the Kali Yuga truly embraced us all.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff you can do now. Like,
yeah,
I sent you that thing today where it was like Unreal Engine. You know, they just revealed like they've taken their like facial capture tech and like brought it down to the thing where you can connect your iPhone to the computer and it'll take like 3 frames of your face and then build like the animation model that you can apply to any Unreal Engine character, and it will. Yeah.
I'm waiting for that to be. It's very.
It's not
cool
real
tech,
time
but
yet. It's very close to real time though. It's gonna get to the point where you can just have it tracking you and doing that. You can do that in Star Citizen already, which is fucking crazy. But that game's a.
I'm just waiting for
nightmare.
While that is super cool and you could do really creative and innovative things. The mind of balance with the cancer that's going to.
Oh, it's going to create a lot of bad stuff.
Forth.
But I mean, it's like you've got these like VTubers or whatever, the people who like Code Miko and whatnot, you know, the people who are already doing this like facial tracking stuff. That is really cool. And I think there's a lot of potential. And right now it's all just completely goofy, like anime e-girls doing this stuff. But there's creative potential for some, you know, some weird YouTube RPG content you could make.
Oh shit! Is this Steve the Moon? Is that who this is here? I actually don't know.
Watched some back in the day when I was playing with Ander, and then checked it out again when Nick mentioned it at our game. Nice.
Yeah. What IRL people? Crazy.
Yeah, we could switch this over to VTubers. Yeah, we could be big-titted anime chicks.
Yeah, Goth GF coming. The real Black Lodge games. Yeah, man. Dang. Well, we would definitely be raking in the bucks, but we would.
We wouldn't change our voices though.
Yeah.
And that is the goal. We want those simp bucks. We want those nerd bucks.
Yeah. Stay tuned for episode 3 of the podcast.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's coming out Monday morning.
It's been brutal.
Yeah. It has been so hard to not release this early because it's really good. It's really good. I don't want to spoil any of it because I think we really found our voice in this one, and
as you can tell, at least for me, I've never done this before. The awkwardness, we're trying to work it out. Yeah, but we're getting into that groove, making it happen.
Yeah, I think the first episode, you know, was like really.
Oh, you're right.
What's that?
This is Steve Fillmore. I know who it is now. I just I have you in my phone as a meme. Unfortunately, I'm excited for your Savage Worlds Supers game, man. You're gonna be running that alternate Fridays, man.
Nice.
Let me know if I screwed up anything on the character sheet.
No, that costs too much. You need to get drawings of yourself. We could do that.
We could do that. We could.
Get some drawings of us as anime people. No.
This isn't exactly the podcast. What we want to do is have. So we're pre-recording the pod. Obviously, we're pre-recording the podcast. That's going to be coming out Mondays, and we want to make this live stream something weekly that we do.
Yeah, we want to do
Thursday
this,
nights.
and I think also like this will serve kind of two purposes. Like part of it is like we just want to hang out and talk in this freeform format with you guys. That's a huge part of it. But since we are recording the episodes in advance, if something interesting comes up, some interesting topic, we can't wait another week and a half, to release our comment on it. So it's a little better to get on now. Like the topic that we delve into on Monday, some wild shit has happened with it in the last 36 hours. That has been insanely entertaining and has made it much, much, much more difficult for us to wait until Monday. But but it's gonna be a good one.
Wild.
So definitely hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell notification.
Yeah, man.
Get the notifications.
I'll hope for the best. Thank you, man. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, I think actually we did a pretty good job.
It's crazy that people are enjoing it at all. It's
I know that was our.
astonishing.
I know it was like, what if we're the only two people on Earth? But yeah, I mean, it was like we did that first episode and like it was I think pretty good, but it was definitely like awkward and like we knew it was going to be that though because we were like we just need to start.
It's like what are we going to talk about? We have to get back to the But
it
at
was,
least for me, that was like,
No, but I think that was good, though, because it kept it focused. Because otherwise it was just going to go in a million different directions and be kind of aimless and whatnot. But, like, we just needed to start. We just needed to start.
Yeah,
and I think the second episode we loosened up a bit, too. But we hit the groove on the third episode. So it's... it's great.
There was a great backdrop to play off of.
I can't tease what it's about because it'll just give it away.
I mean, our comments won't, but I mean,
I will say we are, the last one was like gaming advice. The first one was us kind of talking about our philosophy. This one is us diving into the muck and analyzing
real problem.
Yeah, getting
trash.
The muck under our fingernails and dealing with the trash and the sludge that is out there.
Yeah, that's right. Just like the closer, no apologies, no compromises. Yeah. That is definitely the aphorism to live by.
Yeah.
I think in general, especially as things get worse out there, and they will get worse before they get better. But
Shauner's only been waiting since 2013 for a channel like ours. Well, it's here, baby, and it's not going anywhere.
It's here, but not anywhere.
Yeah.
They can.
We are committed.
We are committed. Yeah. This is like all I think.
I think about. Yeah.
During the day. Yeah. Yeah. Work has been a struggle.
Yeah.
But it's. All right, no spoilers.
No spoilers.
Other than what we've given.
Yeah, we've given you enough. We've given you enough.
Yes, just have to wait.
Yeah.
It's only a few more days.
Only a few more days. It'll go quick.
Yeah, but that's also so podcast. I think we're going to have some sort of jumping off point or a central topic that we're going to explore.
Mm-hmm.
It's obviously it's certainly not scripted by any means, but it's sort of orbiting as much as we can, wrangle ourselves in around some kind of topic.
We kind of pick like, okay, this will be our entry point, and here's like a couple of things we want to talk about, and then we go from there. It's not scripted, like you said, but it is gonna be. It does have some structure to it.
Yeah, but this Thursday live stream, and we started an hour later than I think we intend to going forward. But
yeah, that was because I was dumb. I set it to the wrong hour.
Yeah, you're in CST. I'm in EST.
Yeah.
Or I guess we're in CDT, daylight savings time.
LGBT.
LGBT. We're all living in that world. But with this. The opportunity to be a bit more free and open and just have it be a conversation between us and between you.
Yeah.
As well, and it's an opportunity to.
And honestly, it's an opportunity for us to meet other people who are know what the problem and are yearning for someone to say anyone say something,
say something for God's sakes, please.
So we don't
like
go
Sean,
insane.
it's the same for us as well, man. It's no one is saying what's so clear and obvious, and everybody knows it.
Yeah. Everyone with a brain
absolutely
knows
fucking infuriating that nobody is saying anything. So we feel exactly the same way.
Yeah, and I kind of do hope that if this gets any sort of legs, which it will, because I'm gonna force those shorts out and get those Zoomer eyeballs on this. I'm hoping that if there's like some people who are like on the cusp or like they know something's wrong with the gaming experiences that they're having, but they just can't put their finger on it. I'm hoping that they find this and that they can, understand that there's something more. Yeah. That was the problem.
What's going
that's
on.
That's what I've been thinking. Yeah, exactly. I'd like to be able to provide that for people.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny you made the comment about tanking your old channel. I remember that old channel. Good stuff. But hey, it's like you said, everybody scattered to the winds. Some people like
I did too. I mean, I
left
thankfully,
it all behind. Yeah.
Thankfully, I didn't actually delete the videos on this channel. I deleted some of them when I relisted everything, but I have a different channel that I've nuked many times, and usually that's because it's like because I was like, well, I gotta get a job, so I better get rid of everything on social media. So like but those videos are lost to time forever. But I was pleasantly
not to
surprised.
my mind.
Yeah,
they're up there.
Yeah,
I remember them well.
I was very happy when I logged in and discovered that I had just set everything to private and that a lot of it still existed. Nice. And I was shocked by how many views some of the videos had. Like I my other channel, when I was, talking about like lunatic political ideology, I didn't get, I got no views on that and was never trying to. But then I came here and I was like, I have 2,500 views on a video? Like what? That's crazy.
Yeah, lots of players have new genders. Since you should have to pay taxes for every gender you have. I'm so pissed off that tax day is my birthday this year.
That is horrible.
So that's rough.
Did they move it? Isn't it usually April 15th?
It's different every year.
No, like the final day or whatever. Okay.
Yeah. God damn it. Well,
yeah, I had actually not, like, I know 4th edition really fucked everything up with D&D. I played it the day it came out in like a game shop. It was terrible. I think I mentioned that in one of the podcasts. But I hadn't really been playing 3rd edition prior to that.
Hey man, 28mm RPG, welcome.
Yo, finally off work.
Sit
Glad
back
to hear
and
it,
relax.
Man. Yeah. Crack a beer or in my case a La Croix and enjoy. But yeah, I came up on AD&D 2nd edition because that's what was in the house. My we had, I think, a 1st edition Dungeon Master's Guide from my oldest brother had been playing in the 80s, and then they switched over to 2nd edition, and those were the books that I had throughout the 90s. And I tried playing that a lot with my friends. People lost interest, and it wasn't really until I got into high school when I met my friend Matt, who introduced me to Vampire the Masquerade, and that was like, we're best friends now. I was like, this is awesome, because we had a really good group, and that was like, because also like I love horror, I love the macabre. Vampires, I think, are like a really cool monster, and so it was just so up my alley. And like the fucking, the gothic punk atmosphere. It's like when you're 15 years old, it's like, fuck yeah.
Perfect teenager
yeah.
game. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, we're going to play Sabat. Like,
yeah. Yeah, it's really interesting. I feel like I don't know. I feel like like I was saying earlier, I started gaming later in terms of editions and actual age. It kind of is amazing. It's not surprising, but I feel fortunate that my mind was not compromised in any capacity with respect to game or otherwise. But I have never played fourth edition. I didn't get started until after the backlash against it was so
that
complete.
You got Pathfinder
so
took
thorough.
over everything.
It got Pathfinder. Yeah, it's funny. It's one of those things. Maybe another topic for something down the line. I do have a couple of my Pathfinder books. I do still have a nostalgic affinity for that, even though the mechanics are something you have to fight against.
Yeah.
In many respects. I think I'll keep those probably for forever, just as it's a reminder of like a place.
Yeah, totally.
A place at a time. Place at a time.
That's something, one of the things that I regret, and I knew I was going to regret it when I did it, but I couldn't. I had to get rid of them. I had my first edition books of what are we laughing at?
Shauna is right. The ultimate the final destination of most of the Brigaders was crippling debt.
Yeah. Oh man. No, what I say though is I was really into the.
Oh shit! We got the Halo man, so we got Master Chief.
Oh shit! Frog Archist is here. Frog Archist, by the way, follow his channel. He makes very, very high quality videos. Great content, mostly related to video games. I've known him for a long time, and he's actually one of the reasons that I'm back on YouTube and that this is happening is because I got kind of inspired by he put a lot of thought into a particular video and was like, I think this is going to go wide. And it got like 100,000 views in a couple weeks. Because he was right and he was really smart. And I was like, you know what? I can do that too. Not with our autism podcast, but
no,
we got some things in the works. Go subscribe to Frog Archist. He's very funny, very smart, and makes very
stuff.
Good content.
Yeah, back-clued me on your channel as well, man. Fantastic stuff. And you're right, Shauna. That is a use. For those
you're welcome, everyone.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, I have to thank myself because Frog Archist had a channel previously. I won't mention it, but he did get inspired to get into YouTube by me years ago. So ultimately, really, I did this.
The recursive praise does flip upwards. Yeah, man. We got some disagreements. Oh, but not really. Different ways of saying the same thing. Garbage.
Yeah.
That is.
Kind of getting back to the nostalgia for the books, though. I was very, very into New World of Darkness when it came out, and I was aware of its flaws, like very much so. But it was I loved World of Darkness and I loved Vampire the Requiem, and I had a bunch of those books, a bunch of those source books. And when I moved to New York, I just couldn't afford to like send any more shit or pack them in. Like I had no more space in my bags, so I gave them to a friend. So they hopefully are still living with him, which is great. But I do miss those books. I had probably like 6 or 7 of the Requiem source books. They were really, really good, high quality books at the time too. Like now we have to deal with print on demand, which is fine. I can get all of these old books. Like I got the Planescape setting book recently from Drive Through RPG. Nice. I've got some other stuff. They're high quality, but like paper sucks. It's not like
It's not the same.
It's not the same. You don't have that same kind of like. They had at least some sort of coating on the pages. Like I've got somehow I've got 2 copies of second edition Exalted. Then the quality on those books, even though they're falling apart, because I've used them so much, which is good. It's just you don't get that with Drive-Thru RPG print on demand. It sucks.
Oh yeah, I've seen GURPS World of Darkness. Not 2 things I ever intended, expected, or expect
or
in
will
terms of
ever
quality.
put together myself.
Yeah. I remember I used to have, way before I started gaming, when I was like in middle school, I actually got a number of God, what would it have been? It must have been it must have been the 3.0 Player's Handbook, the Monster Manual. I don't remember if I had the DMG or not, but I would read them because I was interested in fantasy, and the art was very evocative to me at that time, and reading like the material as just stupid a teenager. This is, well, I guess not even a teenager, in sixth grade anyway, and I had a number of old second edition Dragonlance source books. I didn't fully understand somehow that they were. I saw D&D on the cover, but I didn't know anybody who played or who ran, so I didn't really put it together. But very, very evocative. I think as is the case with every boy, my mom, I think, threw them away.
Man, yeah. Dude, that
maybe
happened.
she didn't. I have to next time I'm back up at the old homestead, I'll have to rifle through the attic.
So this last year,
I did save my old Nintendo NES cartridges from destruction, though.
So my brother had a box set copy of the Forgotten Realms AD&D second edition campaign setting when we were growing up. Everybody moves out. That box set though disappeared from the house after my brother had moved out, but I was still living there, because I remember looking for it and being like, what happened to this? I bought my own copy of that from a game shop, and then after I moved out, that disappeared. No idea where that happened. But last year my parents came through, and I live relatively close to my brother, and my mom was like, so she calls me first. She's like, who wants these D&D books? I was like, give them to me. I was like, if you found any of the D&D books, give them to me. I will take them. I will take them. And so she brings them up, and we go to visit my brother. And the first thing that he says to us is, whatever happened to my D&D books? And I was like, God damn it.
Shut your mouth.
So I was like,
you had your chance.
I was like, they got thrown away, and and he's like, really?
Right answer.
I was like, they're in the car. Like, so I went and got them and gave them to him. I was so pissed.
Nice. Yeah, it is funny. But playing in with Steve, we're both in a real life an IRL second edition D&D game right now. And that is very interesting for me to be to experience that game now this far out in terms of just straight years from when those games, those books were current, and how much has changed in terms of the culture and the gaming culture. It's interesting. I'm pleased to. It definitely has its very strong quirks, and I really don't care for some of it, but it is interesting seeing how things have changed. Although I never played for, I guess 2E, and really I played Pathfinder, which is close enough to 3.5.
Yeah.
Haven't done any of that, but
Yeah,
I don't really intend to.
I never got out of second edition what my mind promised me
Nice,
by
Shoner.
seeing those incredible paintings from that golden age of D&D art.
Yeah,
I never got that
when they
experience out of
actually
it.
painted them
Yeah.
on a
And they
canvas.
had incredible artists.
Incredible artists.
Instead of like deviant art profiles that they've
Deviant art
Yeah.
schlock. Yeah.
we
Yeah, that's
we
Go ahead.
the other night we were on Discord. I think it was probably after we recorded, and
yeah.
or gilded, whatever the fuck we're using for this.
Yeah.
But we went through and just started looking through the 5th edition monsters manual.
Oh God, yeah, the monsters.
And like,
Jesus.
I wish we could just sit there and stream that, just go through the
Yeah.
entire book. But I think you can't do that because it's
You
like,
can't. I think because
it's
it's
like
copyright or whatever. But oh my God,
holy fuck,
that would
like,
be
it was
nothing
so
is
bad.
good.
Nothing in it is good. Well, there's no, that's not
There
true.
were like three.
There was like three pieces. The one that like we immediately were like, whoa,
best
that's really
one
cool.
was-
It's the severed hand. You know,
It's just the hand.
It's just the
It's
hand.
a zombie hand.
Yeah,
The
that
art
was
for
good.
that is actually decent.
Yeah.
And there were a couple we found that were like, oh, this
Yeah,
is
that's kind of cool.
okay.
There was the
like
the
that.
other one that was of the naked chick with wings who's like kind of looking up at something. Like that was cool.
Yeah.
But the rest of it was so bad. I almost
bad.
couldn't believe that. I was like, you guys have the resources
you know.
to literally get the best artists on the planet, because these are going to be the core books for the next 10 years, you know, and they got, and like so much of the art is just so fucking bad. And we read a couple of the
Yeah.
monster descriptions and there's just nothing there at all.
Astonishingly bad.
Yeah.
Like clearly bad photoshopped or photo bashed content.
Photo
You
P.
Oh yeah, photo. Yeah, free version Photoshop. Didn't even use the blur tool to even try.
Yeah.
In the most like toddler way to blend it together. But yeah, really, really bad.
It was astonishing how bad it was. I was like, this looks like an indie game, you know, and not in a good way.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Everything looks the same now. Whether you have a low budget or a high budget, everyone is. It's like every single fast food chain. Every Wendy's looks like every Burger King, which looks like every Chick-fil-A, which looks like every.
It's that box
It's the
that
same,
they have now.
like homogenized. Yeah, like
it's a
cubic,
concrete cube, like. It's
Yeah,
literally, it's like
angular.
it's like the Borg, but they have like a different sign outside, you know? Like,
Yeah. That's right. Bisexual coloring. I laughed so hard when when he first used that term. You were commenting on some guy. Bisexual coloring. It was so fucking funny. It's so true. It's so true.
we got a
I
question.
never thought about it until you said it, and you're right.
Are we talking about 3E? We're not. We're talking about 5E
5E.
for the monster manual that we were just looking at.
Manual.
But honestly, it's like the art across all the books is just, it got catastrophically bad. Like after, like you could start to see the cracks in 3E. 3E still has some really cool stuff, but you could see something was off. 4th edition is its own complete different thing, like obviously, but that was when it was like, this looks like the fucking Warcraft manual, you know, like this
Even
is
the
video
Warcraft
game.
manual had like character. It had personality to it. It was shit.
Yeah, and
But it had personality. Like I really don't mind like terrible art if it has heart, right? If it has heart to it. And if it's in like an indie kind of thing. Like, okay, someone labored over this.
Yeah. This is the other thing that I was thinking about the monster manual and why it was like so irritating is that so many of those monsters are dumb. Like
They're dumb. They're filler.
Fucking dumb. Like this whole thing, like
how many-
everybody, like the Displacer Beast. This is everyone's favorite
Displacer
fucking
Beast.
thing, and it's going to be in the new movie. And it's basically it's a panther that has extra legs and some tentacles with like spikes on them, and it can teleport, and like it's this complete nonsense monster. There's nothing interesting or scary about it, and these monsters, they're generic and also weird at the same time, but they're not weird in like wow, that's interesting sort of way. They're weird in just like okay, so you put tentacles on a panther, like, okay, and none of them gel together at all. So
or even just like having the whole thing about dinosaurs, like how
why
you
are
really needed to dedicate. Like I've never fought a dinosaur.
I've never had dinosaurs in D&D. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's so dumb.
Yeah.
Great point, Justin. You're quite right on that. And
why don't you for the folks at home who are just watching and not reading the chat, why don't you read that for us?
Oh, Nick? You're right. Yeah, Boomer. Terrible.
Explain to the folks at home.
Bringing quality art to indie houses, it's really going to mess over the bad art scene. Massive corporate publishing outfits now. Yeah, massive.
I have. So I actually kind of agree with that. I don't know if it's going to fuck over the big corporate stuff, but it at least will make other good products, because it's like I got I'm gonna go grab it. I got the Shadows of Estrin core book. I'm gonna grab.
Oh, nice! I have it too behind me, which you can't see because of wonders of
keep them entertained.
Technology. Yeah. The girl boss thing, you see it everywhere, and it's so infuriating. It's so infuriating. Every main character, the forefront, it's a chick, probably with a I don't even know what you call it. Some undercut, some crazy zoomer haircut, probably in a non-natural color. And the man is always in the back, assisting, or more likely than not, being the butt of the joke or the situation.
Yeah, so
that's interesting genre.
Shadows of Estrin is a game that we're going to talk about at some point, because I'm still reading this book. I'm enjoying it a lot.
I backed their initial Kickstarter. Great stuff. I have everything except for their vinyl album, and they have an art book, which I haven't gotten.
Right.
Yet.
So it's like this game. The genre of it is essentially like dark romanticism. And so dark romanticism is what they titled their art book that I'm going to order soon because it looks awesome. But it's like this kind of Celtic setting that has a very grounded sense of realism to it. There is supernatural elements to it, but they're kind of in the background. There are
not
monsters
in any way.
There are monsters in the game, but they feel grounded in the world, and the entire kind of like aesthetic. Let me see if I don't know how well this is going to show up.
Let's see if it
will.
Freaks out.
It will.
The camera's freaking out.
Yeah. Oh, isn't that great art, guys? So I'll have to show this some other time.
We'll have to bring it up on a different.
Yeah, we'll bring it up on a
like
different.
Share.
Yeah, we'll open the
PDF
PDF or something like that. But this is an instance of this. I don't know if they do print on demand, because I know you can still buy this. I bought this off of eBay, but they still have a store that you can buy these through online. I don't know if these are print on demand. If they are, I want to know what publisher they used, because it is super high quality, like super high quality. But my point is that you can't see is that the art is excellent, and it has a unified style. And
that is
a unified
is what impressed me the most
aesthetic.
about the game.
Yeah, it's like it's great. And this is definitely not a game for people who don't watch this channel, because it's like the first
in fact, I would say this is a game only for people who watch this channel. Yeah. So if you're interested, subscribe.
I am gonna be like really excited to talk about this when we get to it, to actually get in depth on it, and like, because we're probably gonna make
in the writing as well.
The whole first, like, more than half of the book is just about the setting. And it's literally the way it's written. It's not like, okay, and now, here's the entry on this city and whatnot. The whole premise of it is that you get this kind of short story in the beginning where this lord of this manor who's gone through this tragedy and is kind of like, he's dying basically, and he's kind of going a little mad in his final days, has compiled all of this information about the continent, or not the continent's something else, about the peninsula in which this game takes place. And he asks one of his servants to like go through it because he's trying to find this like information.
It is skill based, Shauner.
Yeah, it's skill based. But and so
not in the same way as like BRP, but it is skill based.
The setting then is then presented to you as this pile of documents that this servant is going through and reading, and it's all like first person accounts of things, and you get contradictory information, everything, because it's pieces of writing that are supposed to be coming from across the country, and so you're getting it from different cultural perspectives. It's really, really good. It's this kind of like dark, romantic, subtle horror game.
I'm talking
fantasy
about
game,
Shadows
like
of
medieval,
Estrin, Steve.
Medieval game. So it's like a really highly like Celtic influences. It's awesome because it's like I love to see a game that has vision, and this definitely has a unified vision. It's really cool.
It's the game.
I want to play this so bad at some point.
This game by far, to my mind, has the strongest, most cohesive, and best realized all in one vision of any RPG.
It's very good.
Certainly in terms of tone, art, writing style. I think the mechanics in large part serve to convey that feel.
The combat system in this game is 4 pages in the book. That should give you an idea of the mechanics. It's simple. I think it uses a single D10 for everything.
Definitely not a medieval Frankenstein. It is not your medieval France, your generic fantasy England, and then you have your sort of fantasy Prussia. It's a very small It's a peninsula.
Yeah, it's not
a very unified.
You can travel.
It's a self-contained thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's conceivable that over the course of a campaign, you could literally journey across the entire game world.
You don't need that much. I mean, how many times have you walked to China, before?
Right.
How many times have you walked to Alaska? I haven't. Or even walked, or even drove. Most people haven't.
Yeah, I will write the name in the chat for you.
Even flown. Most people haven't flown terribly far, and if they have, it's for something very specific. The area that people know, even in the modern day, is very, very well. Very contained, generally speaking.
There's only 1 or 2 reviews of this game on YouTube as well, and I couldn't really get through them. So I think it'll be
not great.
They're not great. They're not terrible. Like there's there's a girl with pink hair or whatever who does a review of it, but she gets it. I haven't
seen that one.
Yeah, she gets it, and her video is like 30 minutes long. Like she definitely. She got it and likes it for the right reasons, which is awesome. Because I like to see that, because it's like this is not a game that I can run. Like some of my friends, since I've been talking to them about this project, have been like, let's play D&D then. And so like they bought 5th edition and
no.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Wait.
Like, what are you doing? No. You're like. But I was like, well, I did just get Shadows of Estrin, and I was like, I can't play this with them. I was like, this won't work.
That is true, Sean. Or Tamriel can be walked across
in 2 hours.
In 2 hours. I tried once to do. I wanted to do an Elder Scrolls game, tabletop Elder Scrolls game. I tried to do it in Mithras, and it was essentially with randos, so it was doomed to fail because I was trying to convert I I was building it out, right? Elder Scrolls is a God. Oh my God, I'd love to talk about Elder Scrolls at some time. I still love Morrowind,
I love Morrowind.
but I I think I hate that world so much now because it's been so watered down. Like it is infuriating to me that there's no sense. What does it mean to be a priest of Akatosh or a priest of Dibella? No one knows. No one knows. No one cares. I don't want to get too off topic. I could rant about Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls 6 will suck. I wish that weren't true, but I have zero faith in Bethesda.
Yeah, I mean
that is true. Yeah, Morrowind was based off of Morrowind was a big part inspired by RuneQuest. The whole premise about the Red Goddess, the Lunar Empire, and the Sartorites. You can definitely see the inspiration in the story to Morrowind. Still something I would like to do one day and redeem that world and actually take that world seriously on its own terms, because God knows Todd Howard does not. But we'll see. Maybe in another 12 years, when we're all in the pods together, we can all maybe I'll talk more about Elder Scrolls 6.
Well,
every race can do all the things.
By that point, you'll still be playing reissues of Skyrim. Elder Scrolls 6 won't be out yet.
That is true.
Yeah.
It won't be out yet. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, I don't have a lot of faith in Starfield either. The fact that
no, it's gonna suck.
It's gonna suck.
That company doesn't make good games anymore.
Nobody makes good games anymore. That's true.
Except I think Bethesda did they make Doom and Doom Eternal?
I think they published it.
Or they published it.
They published it. Yeah.
Yeah, because
they financed it.
Because those are two of the best games to have come out in the last 10 years, hands down. So good. But yeah, I really, 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 really want to play Shadows of Esteren, and at minimum, I want to make a whole lot of videos about it, because I think there's a lot of content there. Just because the setting is so good.
Nobody knows about it.
The field, nobody knows about it.
It's not even a cult hit.
Yeah.
Online, it's like beneath that.
Yeah, and part of that's probably because it's European and had to be translated here.
Yeah, I mean, they were very successful on all their Kickstarters. I think because that is a game that also has no compromises and makes no apologies, you have to accept the tone and the implicit style of the game on its own terms, or you're not going to like it.
You're not going to like it.
The game won't like you.
Right.
It's just not going to be a good time.
The combat system is very lethal. Getting hurt in this game does not go well. Like, you can get sick and die. Like, there's, it makes it seems pretty punishing in that respect, which is kind of interesting. I think,
what a concept.
Actually, kind of to get back to the topic of description that we were talking about at the very beginning of this, something that I would say that I took from Within the Ring of Fire. Something that I took from Within the Ring of Fire and also from Exalted was the idea of most enemies being considered extras, like extras in a movie. You know, they're the background characters that are getting shot up by the hero. You know, like, I like the idea of that most low level enemies being considered extras. And it's like, if you hit them, they're dead. You get to describe how you dispatch them. And the challenging enemies that you fight are the things like the fights of great consequence in a movie, you know, like the showdown between, like, I don't know, Mel Gibson and someone, the British guy in The Patriot, you know, that he kills at the end, like that.
I don't remember his name either, but
Tavington is, I think, his name.
Probably.
That was the character name, but that's when, as GM, I'm also like, if I'm rolling defensively or doing whatever it is that we have to do in that respect. But I really like the idea of having these things being extras, and so that there is a little more cinematic flair to it. You are slightly more heroic. Like, I don't need to roll damage if I'm fighting, some randos. I hit them, they're dead. If they're not randos, then it's going to be of much more consequence, and we're going to be a lot more strict about what's going on with damage being
rules,
done to them, and
etc.
rules, mechanics, etc. But on the flip side of that, that doesn't mean that the extras are pussies. Like, if they hit you, they're gonna do standard damage to you. Like, you're gonna get hit. And I feel like in a game like Shadows of Esteren, like, it does seem very deadly. So even though you might get this cinematic flair, you're still gonna have like, every encounter is gonna be very dangerous.
Which it should be.
It kind of should be. I
Danger
know,
is
especially for
deadly.
the tone of this game is like, you have like, it seems like a scary place to live.
Yeah, Sean, I haven't found any good live
plays
of Shadows of Esteren. I feel like I saw one once somewhere, and I don't remember where or who or if it's still up, but I remember that it was the same sort of fare. It was over Roll20 or something, and it was not good. That's what I remember.
Does it have leveling? Not discrete leveling. I think its experience is. I think it's like point buy on skills, but I'm not sure. It's not. It's definitely
it's
not
something like that.
Leveling,
I actually haven't looked at the book in like 6 months.
Because that's the thing.
I haven't looked at it since I moved down here to Virginia. But
I thumbed through some of the mechanics because it like flipped ahead to look at them. Because, like I said, the whole first part of the book is just a massive amount of inspiration for the setting. Haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah. That's quite a concept, Justin. That's a
well, maybe Justin says,
concept,
well, maybe you guys should get 2 or 3 people and do a live play. Well, we may have thought about this.
Yes.
We're cooking up some games. We've got already one player on board between, I'm not going to spoil anything except that I'm going to be GMing a game. We've got Nick playing in that
first
game.
Out the gate.
We've got
we got to get you back in the driver's seat, man.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's been way too long since I've run a game. It's been way too long. But I'm not going to say much more than that. But we're working on it.
We got to vet we're vetting players.
We're vetting players right now.
Measure twice, cut once.
Exactly.
That's
and on top of that, like I said at the very beginning of this, we're still like, we have a bunch of shit that we need to get finished. Like,
admin.
We need to get our fucking
stuff.
Website up. We got to start using the Twitter. Finish getting the fucking podcast on all the other platforms. Like, there's just a bunch of shit that we need to do. That's consuming a lot of time. In addition to the fact that like, we're having conversations about all the creative aspect and things that we want to do, making videos. So it's just it's budgeting.
We have a lot
time
in the works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we both have full-time jobs. So
for now.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
For now. Yeah.
The dream.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The thing is, if we keep pissing off Zoomers and getting them to, rage comment on everything like that, that'll eventually turn into ad revenue somehow.
And eventually, maybe it'll reach our HR departments and we'll get fired. Hopefully after we have it. Hopefully after we have an audience.
Don't say that, Nick. We don't want to get fired.
Not yet.
We're pretty mild anyway. I mean, I don't think we've said anything too crazy.
No.
Yeah.
We have towed the party line.
Exactly.
Sure. We agree with current thing.
Yeah.
Very strongly. Very strongly.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I think we've been at it for
hour and 43 minutes.
An hour 43. Didn't we start this? Oh, that's right. We started.
We started at
9 o'clock.
we started at the wrong time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm ready to
next time.
to call it a night. But guys, again,
Thank
Monday.
you so much for popping in here. More than
no, I really appreciate it. I'm glad to talk. I'm happy to talk to you
is,
guys. Like we're gonna, because the thing is, we're gonna get ideas for content out of these streams from you guys. So it's
Don't change a thing, Shauner, please.
Yeah, I know. Please don't change for us.
Yeah, we are each other's life vests or lifeboats or whatever lame metaphor you want to use. So this is great. You know, you mentioned not getting burned out, seeing people engaged, seeing people are interested, intrigued, entertained.
That's fuel.
That's at least for me. It's huge. It lets us me know we're doing something that's of value. Not just shouting into the void.
Yeah.
Although
I'm happy to do that too. So
I mean, I have been doing
before.
it, and I imagine I will do again. Soon enough.
But what I was gonna say is Monday, guys. This podcast is gonna be fun. So tune in.
Yeah.
I had so much fun doing it, and we really found our sea
fun.
legs with this, and it's only going to continue to get better and better. So please tune in. And if you know people that are like-minded or just might even be entertained by what comes out on Monday,
someone you want to save, a loved one, a friend, who's in the shit,
who's in these terrible games, send them our way. And I think Monday's episode is going to be a great way to hook people who might be a little more normal than anyone else who's in this chat.
Holy shit.
It's going to be good. Cool. Anyway, that's all I've got. Please,
all right, boys.
Do what you got to do to get us in the algorithm. We'll see you next Thursday when we do this again. We're going to try and do this as a weekly stream.
Awesome.
All right.